Hey guys, it's Terry Edelman, expert handicapper at Picks and Parlays, here with another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. Welcome to all the new viewers. Of course, the first day streaming on the Picks and Parlays and the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel, as well as X accounts. Brief introduction. Of course, my name's Terry Edelman, expert handicapper at Picks and Parlays, Winners and Whiners, StatSalt, and Sportsmemo. And this is my daily NHL betting show. What you can expect on this show is a breakdown of every game. Sometimes on big slates, I jumble some games together at the end of the slate. But breaking down every game from a betting perspective with a focus on player props and streaks. I'm a streaks bettor. So welcome to everybody. Normally we do a show recap at the beginning, but it's been a while since we've had some NHL. It was a great ending to the Olympic tournament with a nice winning day. Going to look to keep it going here on the slate. And this is a bit of a tricky day when it comes to handicapping the NHL, just because we obviously have had the Olympic break. We have a lot of players that didn't play any hockey at all. And then we have some, obviously, that played a lot of hockey in the Olympics. So some players are going to be a little bit more rusty than others. And that's just something you have to factor in to your betting. But having said all that, we are going to jump into the chat and say hello to everybody. Not going to go through every comment, but NHL Picks on Net is back. I feel it's tricky. Yeah, who's going to be playing, who's not? Completely agree. Hey, Addison, how's it going? Welcome back, everyone. Hey, Hal. Back at Seneca. We'll see if he can continue on with how great he started the season. Welcome back, NHL, baby. Yes, it's back. Good morning, Terry. Welcome back, everyone. Let's go. Terry Edelbags. I crushed the Olympics, curling, and hockey. I feel like I should have got into some of the curling, but did not get into it. So before we, of course, jump into the slate, I do want to bring up a special over on the Picks and Parlays website. The best deal to get right now, hat trick, all access pass. You get all of my plays in the NHL, all of my top rated best bets. I have a 3% 3-star play up on the site today. You get all plays for 3 days for $49. Currently, the best deal over on the Picks and Parlays website. So make sure to go and check that out. But jumping into the first game, we have the Buffalo Sabres and the New Jersey Devils. Buffalo, minus 110. New Jersey, minus 110. And a total of 6, which is minus 110 each way here in this one. Looking how these teams have done against each other in the past, pretty even. Both teams 3-3 in the last 6 meetings overall. And previous games have gone under between these two teams. 4 of the last 5 going under 5.5. 7 of the previous 8, though, went over 6.5. So this used to be a really good over series for betting overs, but has been a lot more lower scoring in recent meetings. Now, of course, you kind of have to throw a little bit of that out the window here with the Olympic break. Some teams might not be their best defensively after the break. Do think we're going to see some higher scoring games. Do think we're going to see some offense here in this one. Looking at how these two teams were doing heading into the break, Buffalo, one of the hottest teams in the NHL heading into the Olympic break. Now, they did have a couple games there. I believe they lost 3 or 4 right before the break, but before that, 21-4-1 in their previous 26 games. So the Buffalo Sabres were a wagon. We were betting on them a lot. Will they be able to keep that going? That's the question. Are these teams going to be able to keep up the momentum they had before the break? New Jersey, on the other side, got off to a really hot start on the season, especially at home. They were unbeatable, looking like they were going to have a great season, and everything kind of fell apart. They lost 5 of their last 6 before the break and 14 of their last 22. So it had been a really rough time for the New Jersey Devils. Maybe the break is just what they needed, and they'll have some more success. When I look at it, though, my play here is Josh Norris over half a point, plus 100 here in this one. Josh Norris is back, so that's obviously the big news. Coming back from injury, it's been a while since he's been in the lineup, and he is scheduled to be on the third line with Noah Ostlund and Josh Doan. So we have the pair of Joshes, Josh Norris and Josh Doan. I really think that's going to be a great third line for the Buffalo Sabres, and that's what the Buffalo Sabres have is depth. Peyton Krebs, Tage Thompson, Alex Tuch on that top line, Zucker, McLeod, and Quinn on the second line. That's a very productive second line. McLeod and Quinn were absolutely red hot heading into the heading into the Olympic break. Will they keep up their momentum? But I like that third line. Josh Doan has been a really productive player for the Buffalo Sabres. That was a great trade to get him. Even him for Peterka might end up being a win for Buffalo, but they got Michael Kesselring as well, who is struggling, but that happens sometimes, especially with your first year with the new team. Josh Norris has been extremely productive for the Buffalo Sabres, but his issue is he can't stay healthy. Norris has a point in 5 of his last 6 games before his injury, 14 of his last 18. And he's been really great on the road, a point in 9 of his last 11 road games. He is on that third line, as I said, but he is on the top power play unit, which also features Josh Doan. I really think you should watch for Josh Doan and Josh Norris. I really think if Norris can stay healthy, I really think some strong chemistry could develop between those two on that third line, who are also obviously on that top power play. So plus 100 for a point. Josh Norris is how I'm going to start off the second half here for the NHL. Looking at some other players that are playing well point-wise heading into this game, as I said, Jack Quinn, Ryan McLeod, both 3-game point streaks, 4 or 5 heading into the break. Not a lot of consistent goal scorers on either team. Dolly in assists was a moneymaker, minus 135, so not a lot of value there. Jack Quinn, Ryan McLeod, both an assist for their last 5 games, 7 of their last 10. Plus 150 for Quinn, plus 135 for Ryan McLeod. So there. If you don't want to target the Norris and Doan line, I would look at the second line with McLeod and Quinn. They are on the second power play unit. So we'll see there. We'll see what happens. And then, yes, goaltenders. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen likely for Buffalo. Jake Allen confirmed for the New Jersey Devils. Pretty similar numbers overall when you look at goals against and save percentage for both goalies. Luke Hughes' point. He's got Timo Meyer goal, plus 210. I'm seeing Jake Allen starting. Yes, he's confirmed. If Tage Thompson plays, yes, if he plays, and that's something obviously to keep an eye on. Some players aren't going to be playing today after the Olympics. But I expect most players to play, though. Thompson, 8 goals, 10 games versus Allen. Lots of production. Don't think Luke Hughes is playing. Okay. Norris and Doan point combo is plus 280. I like that. I do. If you want to go for the bigger plus money, you can go that way with Norris and Doan. But on to our second game, we've got the Philadelphia Flyers and the Washington Capitals. The Flyers plus 125, road dogs. Washington minus 150, home favorites, and a total of 5.5 here in this one. How are these two teams doing heading into the break? Well, the Flyers had a rough go. Got off to not too bad of a start, 6-3-1. They were 16-9-3 at one point, 22-12-7. But after that, things just fell off. Ladar got hurt, and the Flyers just 3 wins in their last 18-ish games, something like that. So a lot of losses heading into the break, which included a 4-2 loss to the Washington Capitals, who now they get to face again here in this one. Washington was really struggling as well. They had lost 4 games in a row, 6 of 7, but won 4 or 5 heading into the break. So the Capitals probably wish that the Olympic break did not happen because they were just starting to turn things around in that one. And I need to correct myself. It was a 4-2 win for Philly, not the Capitals. So that was the Capitals' only loss during their last 5 games was against Philadelphia. And Washington doesn't lose to Philadelphia very often. 6-1 in the last 7 meetings between the two teams. All 6 of those wins in regulation. So the Capitals really got the job done in regulation. Now, when I look at this game here, I do like Washington to win this game. For those that don't know, for new viewers, of course, for me, minus 130 is minus 135 is usually my cutoff point. Don't really go further than that. I don't like the Capitals money line here at minus 150. It's just really tough to tell how they're going to come back after the break. But I do like them to win this game. So if you wanted to bet the Capitals, I would look at them in regulation or use their money line as a parlay piece. Here, I think the Flyers are going to be a team to continue to fade in the second half. I don't think that they're going to put everything together all of a sudden. Dan Vladar likely for Philadelphia. Logan Thompson confirmed for the Washington Capitals. Very similar numbers between both goalies. 2.47 goals against average for Vladar, 2.45 for Thompson, 904 save percentage for Vladar, 912 save percentage for Thompson. So pretty similar numbers there. And players that were doing well heading into the break that have value, Trevor Zegras point, 3 games in a row. And as well, hold on for a second. 3 games in a row, and as well 3 games in a row against Washington. So he's had success against Washington. The assist for him, he also has an assist in 3 games in a row against Washington, plus 162. So it's definitely some more value with the assist prop. And that's basically it. Not a whole lot of guys on streaks heading into the break. And of course, the break happened, so a lot of these streaks may not continue. And new ones will start. So we're going to see guys that come out of nowhere that were ice cold before the break and are going to be red hot. And other guys that were red hot, unfortunately, will probably go ice cold. So that's something to expect here in the slate. So here, give Addison his own show. Hey, you could have one. Do you think Ovi will get a point? Not a bad look. He's minus 160 for a point. He's had a lot of success against the Flyers, points in 5 of 7 against Philly, and had a point in 8 of his last 10 before the break. So, yeah, I would think he could have a good game, Ovechkin. Konechny, Zegras point each, plus 125. There you go. Sabres puck line, 78% of their wins by 2+ goals. Devils, 76 of their losses this season by 2+ goals. There we go. OV point. Yeah, not as a single play, but you could use it in a parlay. Addison laughing about his own show. Mishkov anytime goal and OV anytime goal parlay, plus 825. Big plus money. Very nice, Robert. But we will continue on along to our next game, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Leafs plus 185, road dogs. The Lightning minus 225, home favorites, and a total of 6 here in this one. And when I look at this one here, Toronto's a huge underdog in this one, obviously plus 185. And if there's one team that's had Tampa Bay's number recently, it's been the Leafs. They've won 5 in a row against the Lightning. 7 of the last 9 meetings going over 6.5. Usually, we see some very high-scoring games here, and usually the Leafs find a way to win. Now, the first game of the season between the two teams, a 2-0 win for the Leafs. So not a high-scoring one there in that one. Toronto was really allowing a lot of goals, was really struggling to win, but had a really great 3-game Canadian road trip to enter the Olympic break. 3-2 shootout win against Vancouver. Of course, Vancouver is a bottom feeder. Calgary, same thing, 4-2 win against the Flames, and then a 5-2 win against the Edmonton Oilers in their last game. So Toronto entered the break with a 3-game win streak. The Tampa Bay Lightning have been one of the most dominant teams down the stretch. They've been dominant 37-14-4 in the season, and people tend to forget that they lost 6 of their first 7 games. But now at this point, nobody even remembers that. The Lightning were really scoring a ton of goals heading into the break. 6-5 shootout win against Boston, 4-3 overtime win against Buffalo, and a 6-1 win against Florida. So the Lightning offense was really hot heading into the break. When I look at this one here, side total-wise, I would lean with the over 6, especially with the very heavy over history between these two teams. Now looking at starting goaltenders, Anthony Stolarz confirmed for Toronto, 7-7-1, 3.55 goals against average, 882 save percentage. It's been bad. It's been really bad for Stolarz this season. Vasilevsky's unconfirmed for Tampa Bay. I would expect him to start here, but I guess you never know. So I lean with the over here, and when it comes to the side, I do think Tampa wins this one, but minus 225, obviously there's no value there, and I don't want to take the puck line for the Lightning. Puck lines, first game after the break, personally not something I want to look at here. So when it comes to the side and total, I've got nothing, but do have a player prop. Give me Darren Radish over half an assist, minus 120. Radish has had a fantastic season. If you're going to look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously Nikita Kucherov, their best player, MVP, one of the main reasons why they are where they are, leading the Atlantic Division. But Darren Radish has to get some credit as well. He's currently 6th in the league in scoring by defensemen, 3rd in goals, 9th in assists, having an absolutely fantastic year, facing his hometown team here in the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had an assist in 4 consecutive games heading into the break, all on home ice. Heavy over history between these two teams. Toronto allowing an average of 4.25 goals in their last 12 games heading into the break. Tampa Bay scoring a bunch. We'll go with Darren Radish over half an assist, minus 120. Would not talk you off his goal prop as well, because he has been a goal scorer this year. And I believe his anytime goal prop is plus 360. So that there's a ton of value there with that one. Looking at some other players that were playing well heading into the break, Bobby McMahon, playing 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5 for Toronto, plus 122. He's got some value. And Oliver Bjorkstrand for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Points in 3 games in a row, goals in 3 games in a row. Bjorkstrand probably did not want the Olympic break to happen because he was on a heater for the Lightning. And then assist streaks, obviously, Radish, as I mentioned, 4-game assist streak. That's basically about it. Matthews was on a 3-game assist streak, 4 of his last 5, plus 120 here in this one. Kucherov over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 122. Not a bad look. He shoots the puck a lot. Matthew Knies has 4 goals in 5 games against Vasi, plus 350. Okay, some value there. Last season, out of 4 nations, 9 of the 14 games were decided by 2 or more goals. Okay, there you go. I love Radish even more without Hedman in the lineup. Okay, so Hedman is not playing today. That, of course, not great news for Tampa Bay, but yes, that is really good news for betting Radish props because even more ice time. Looks like they still have defensive injuries here. Edward Destus, Emil Lilleberg, and I guess Hedman here as well. Now I see he's healthy. I see he's healthy and he will play versus Toronto. So no, it looks like Hedman is in the lineup. There. But still like him. Still like him. He's been getting a lot of the power play time for the Tampa Bay Lightning. But we'll continue on along with our next game, the Seattle Kraken and the Dallas Stars. Seattle plus 145, road dogs. Dallas minus 170, home favorites, and a total of 5.5 here in this one. And this one here has been a very dominant series for the Dallas Stars. Dallas 11-0-1 in the last 12 regular season games between these two teams. They've won the last 7 in regulation. 6 of the last 7 going under 5.5. So we usually see really low scoring games between these two. Seattle scored 2 or fewer in 7 games in a row against Dallas and 1 or fewer goals in 6 of the last 7 meetings. So Seattle has a tough time finding the back of the net against this Dallas team. Games between these two really trend to go under. If I was betting an under today, this would be it. 100%. I'd be on the under here if I was betting a side or total in this one. But to bet an under after the Olympic break is just not something I'm interested in doing. Especially a 5.5 here. You get a couple power plays, empty net goal. Maybe they pull the goalie twice. There are lots of things could happen here, and this could get over the total. But if I was looking at something here, I would lean with the under here in this one, just because the heavy dominant under history. Dallas, of course, has injuries. Casey DeSmith will be starting this game. He's confirmed. But if you like the under, that's actually good news. Casey DeSmith has been the better goalie this year, better than Jake Ottinger. 11-4-5, 2.37 goals against average, 9-11 save percentage. Now was a little bit starting to come back down to earth a little bit heading into the break. 2.71 goals against average, 893 save percentage in his last 9 games, going 3-4-2. So got off to a really great start, but was a little bit cold. But hey, the Olympic break could very well help him. Joey Decord unconfirmed here for the Kraken. 2.81 goals against average, 902 save percentage for Decord. And yeah, as I said, I lean towards the under here, but don't want to bet an under after the break here. Guys on streaks, the hottest player was Jamie Benn heading into the Olympic break. 4 games in a row with a point, plus 126. But I bet Jamie Benn before, and whenever I bet him, his ice time usually tends to be really low, and he doesn't get a point. So not something I'm looking at particularly here. Thomas Harley, a point in 4 of his last 5 games heading into the break, plus 126. He has value if you want to bet a point prop. Same thing with Vince Dunn, plus 132 for a point, points in 3 games in a row. So defenseman, some value with points. If you're looking at goal scorers, Duchesne had a goal in 4 or 5 heading in the break, plus 265. He was red hot. Assist streaks, basically Jamie Benn and Miro Heiskanen were the most consistent assist guys. Rantanen, of course, on a 5-game assist streak heading into the break, but will not be playing in this game, which again makes me lean towards the under here in this one. Let's see here. Cooper's father passed away, and John will miss their next 2 games. Yeah, it's very sad. I saw that he won't be coaching today. Yeah, his dad passed. And I could see Tampa Bay really coming out strong for their head coach. I could really see them being extra motivated as well. Hal saying hi to Rich. How about a first period under in Dallas? Plus 100. You're the first period guy, Addison, so you would probably know the stats there better than me, but you could go that way. Plus 100 is tempting. Things could very well start off slow. It's possible. Rich saying hey. But we'll continue on along with our next game, which is the Colorado Avalanche and the Utah Mammoth. Colorado minus 125. Road favorites, Utah plus 105 home dogs, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Colorado 4-1-1 in the last 6 against Utah. 1 over, 4 under. Sorry, for a total 6.5. 1 overs and 5 unders. A lot of lower scoring games between these two teams. We are seeing a total 6.5 here in this one. And when I look at this one here, the Colorado Avalanche, of course, 37-9-9 in the season. They've had a fantastic year. Utah, 30-23-4, 17-8-2 at home. The Utah Mammoth have played really well at home. Looking at the 3 meetings this year, all very close games. 2-1 win in Colorado for the Avalanche. Utah won 4-3 in overtime in Utah. And then Colorado won 1-0 in Colorado in the most recent meeting. So the home team has won all 3 meetings between the two teams this season. And when I look at it here, Krell Vejmelka is likely for the Utah Mammoth. No one yet announced for the Colorado Avalanche. When I look at this one here, I think it's probably going to be a lower scoring game again. I would, especially with a total of 6.5. I would lean with the under here in this one, but again, not betting any unders after the break. This is a very high total though at 6.5. I could see the Avalanche offense not coming out. I could see both teams' offenses not necessarily coming out strong, but it could be the complete opposite as well. So kind of lean with the under. Utah is getting Logan Cooley back here in this game, which is a huge addition for the Mammoth. And great news for Dylan Guenther. They had a lot of chemistry together. And it looks like it's going to be McBain, Cooley, and Guenther on that second line. Keller, Schmaltz, and Krause on the top line. JJ Peterka, Barrett Hayden, and Kailer Yamamoto on the third line for Utah. And Barrett Hayden was definitely a player that did not want the Olympic break to happen. 5-game point streak for him. He was red hot. Points in 7 of 10. Plus 120 for him to get a point. Now, being now on the third line, I don't like it enough to pull the trigger on him to get a point. Now, it is showing him on the top power play unit, so that is good news if you like Hayden Point. But absolutely red hot heading into the Olympic break. Guenther, 2-game point streak. Schmaltz and Dursey, both 2-point game streaks. Schmaltz has had a great season for the Utah Mammoth. 2-game goal streak for Schmaltz as well. 4-game assist streak for Hayden. Not a lot of guys on streaks for the Colorado Avalanche. The best player for them would be Valeri Nichushkin, points in 4 or 5, minus 119. He is the guy with value for the Colorado Avalanche, who weren't playing their best heading into the Olympic break. And I'm interested to see how they start here, because they have this game against Utah, and then they face the Wild tomorrow. So back-to-back right after the break, 2 divisional opponents, one that's only 5 points behind you, and then this Utah team who is trying to have a bigger lead in the wild card race. Which teams are most affected by jet lag? That's going to be a good question, and we're going to see. Obviously, tonight's going to be a great test because we're going to see how a lot of teams do right after the break. But moving on along to our next game, the Vegas Golden Knights and the LA Kings. Boy, did we see some line movement here. The Vegas Golden Knights were minus 170 in this game at one point. Not anymore. Plus 125 here. In this one, of course, they are dealing with injuries. Jack Eichel won't play. Shea Theodore won't play. And then I believe Noah Hannafin might not be playing either here in this one. So actually, Shea Theodore might be playing. I might have that wrong. Noah Hannafin's not playing, and Jack Eichel. And who knows who else, because obviously there might be surprises here before the game starts, players not playing. So it might be kind of like the NBA here in this today after the Olympic break. When I look at this one here, though, the Kings 4-1-1 in the last 6 meetings between the two teams. So LA's had some success against Vegas. Back-to-back games under 5.5. The previous 5 were all high scoring, going over 6.5. 2 of the last 3 meetings went to overtime between these two teams. Both teams have been heavy overtime teams this season, but both really losing a lot in overtime. Both teams have 14 overtime. Vegas has 14 overtime losses, and the Kings have 7. So a ton of overtime losses here. 2 of the 3 games between these two teams have gone to overtime this year. The Kings winning 6-5 in the first one. Vegas winning 3-2 in the second game. When I look at this one here, I think LA wins, but minus 150. I don't see a lot of value with the Kings. Wouldn't really recommend the draw necessarily. Now, we've had overtime history between these two teams. We could see an overtime game here. No confirmed goalies, Aiden Hill, Darcy Kemper, both unconfirmed here in this one. Looking at player props, Ivan Barbashev was absolutely red hot before the Olympic break for the Vegas Golden Knights. Points in 5 games in a row, plus 110. Pavel Dorofeyev had points in 3 games in a row, minus 125. He has some value. Marner, Barbashev both had scored in 4 or 5 games before the break, plus 273 for Marner, plus 380 for Barbashev. And Dorofeyev had scored in back-to-back games, plus 230 before the break. And then assist streaks, Stone and Eichel, but Eichel not playing. Panarin also was assisting in recent games. And of course, speaking of Panarin, Panarin making his LA Kings debut, which might have been a little bit forgotten, obviously, with the Olympic break happening. But it'll be interesting to see how Panarin does for the LA Kings. Of course, losing Fiala really hurts, but getting Panarin is a great move for the LA Kings if they're trying to make the playoffs. What they really need is offense. So Panarin should help with that, especially with what they gave up to get him. Panarin anytime goal might be a popular bet today, but I could see him scoring in his first game here with the LA Kings. 3 goals, 3 games in a row he didn't score, but he had 3 goals in the previous 2 games. Plus 180 for Panarin to score. I don't think it's a bad bet. Would not shock me at all to see him score here in his LA Kings debut. Robert does like the draw, plus 310. Can't talk you off it at all. Dorofeyev owns Forsberg 4 goals in 2 games, plus 200. Wow. Yeah, I would not talk you off it. If I was looking at props, it would be towards Pavel Dorofeyev for sure. Pavel Skorofeyev, as we also like to call him. But we'll go to the chat. Vegas team total over 2.5, minus 120. All right, not bad if you like goals. And this one, back-to-back games under, but really heavy over games. Vegas has been an over team for the most part this season, so I could see goals here. But it can be scary taking an over with the LA Kings because of their offensive issues. as I mentioned. But up next, the game of the night. This is the game that everybody is so excited to watch. I know everyone's going to be tuned into this one here. We've got the Winnipeg Jets, minus 135 road favorites, and the Vancouver Canucks, plus 115 home dogs, total of 6. And obviously, I was being sarcastic. This is not the game of the night. Winnipeg 22, 26, and 8. Vancouver has the worst record in the NHL, 18, 33, and 6. They're 6, 17, and 4 at home. It's been a rough season for the Canucks. Entered the Olympic break on a 3-game losing streak, 6-2 and 5-2 losses, their final 2 games before the break. But Winnipeg, 10, 15, and 3 on the road. They haven't played well enough at all this season. 4-3 overtime loss to Dallas, 5-1 loss to Montreal before the break. So neither of these teams are playing that well heading into the Olympic break. How do these two teams do against each other? Winnipeg has won 8 of the last 10 meetings. 3 of the last 4 have gone over 6.5. I think we get goals here. I think the Canucks give up goals. I don't trust the Canucks offense, and then I don't trust the Winnipeg Jets motivation here. Coming back from this break, Winnipeg's not going to make the playoffs unless there's an incredible miracle. So I don't know how much players are going to be really motivated here in this game. If I was looking at a player prop, it would be Gabriel Velarde over half an assist. An assist in 3 games in a row before the break, 4 of 5. He's plus 115 for an assist. I do think that Winnipeg will put up some goals here. Nobody really else on any kind of streaks for either team. So Scheifele had an assist in 4 or 5 games, minus 150. Just no value there. So overall, this one is a pass. If there's any game that's an easy pass on tonight's slate, this one was definitely it for me. But we'll go to the chat here. Panarin anytime goal, prove his worth. I could see it. Thanks, Terry, in the chat for info. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate you. Kyle Connor, a point. I don't know if he's going to be playing or not. That's something to keep an eye on. I definitely live bet both men and women's teams heading into overtime. Team USA and Team Canada played hard. Yeah, for sure. Kyle Connor over 1.5 points. So Robert really likes Connor here. And Addison likes Hellebuck to score a goal. That's crazy. And yeah, going to get the Battle of Freedom at another time. But yeah. Moving on along to our next game here, which is our last one. Last game, and then we get to the best bet segment, the show best bet segment. Edmonton Oilers, minus 115. Road favorites, the Anaheim Ducks, minus 105 home dogs, and a total of 6.5 here. In this one, the line, the odds really moved here in this one towards the over. And I can understand why. 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone over 6.5. Anaheim, 3-2 in the last 5 meetings. Edmonton, 9-3 in the last 11. So the Oilers have really dominated this Anaheim Ducks team, but we've kind of seen that start to change a little bit here, especially this year and in recent years. The Ducks did win this season, the only meeting, 7-4. Again, high-scoring games. Edmonton entered the break, 7-3 loss to Minnesota, 5-2 loss to Toronto, and a 4-3 loss to Calgary. Anaheim won back-to-back games against Vegas and Seattle heading into the break, 4-3 and 4-2. So the Ducks entered this game in a wild card spot, but not too far back behind the Edmonton Oilers. This is an important game for both of these teams. Now, it's not do or die. They're not out of it if they don't win, but the Oilers, with a win here, will get closer to Vegas. We'll kind of move the distance between them and the wildcard teams by 2 points. Anaheim could get 2 points closer to Edmonton with a win here. and try to get into the top 3. So the Pacific Division is all wide open at this point in time. Looking at goalies here, none yet confirmed. Tristan Jarry unconfirmed for Edmonton. Lucas Sostel unconfirmed for the Anaheim Ducks. And when I look at this game here, give me Jackson Lacombe, over half an assist, plus 105. Now, I am hoping, of course, that he does play. This is, of course, he won gold. Did not go to the White House, so I believe that was because he's heading back to Anaheim. So I do expect him to play here in this one. But I'm willing to take him regardless. Of course, if he doesn't play, it'll be a void. But Jackson Lacombe was the most productive player for Anaheim heading into the break. An assist in 12 of his last 15 games. And hasn't been a goal scorer. No goals in his last 20 games. It's all been assists. That's why I'm comfortable taking the assist over the point prop. He had an assist in 4 of his last 5 home games and 12 of his last 17 at home. A lot of success at home. And facing this Oilers team, who were giving up an average of 4.86 goals against in their last 7 games heading into the break. Lacombe, an assist in 3 of his last 5 games against the Oilers. So he's had a lot of success against Edmonton. And I like him here. Even with the no practice situation and everything that's going on, I like Lacombe to get an assist here in the late game. Let's go to the chat. Agree, Velarde's been hot. Yes, he was very hot heading into the break. 5 goals in 8 games versus Vancouver. He also the Jets' first goal of the game 7 times this season. Kyle Connors opened the scoring for the Jets 10 times this season. All right, so if you're looking for someone to score first, Velarde or Connor. Robert likes the Ducks team total over 3.5 plus 109. And I like that too. I do. I like that. I think the Ducks are going to come out really motivated here in this one. West Coast Hockey also looking to live bet Velarde to score. Live opportunity. Thank you for their first goal intel. Yeah, live betting is definitely an option. Obviously, if you want to live bet the total here, if you do like the over, wait a few minutes and try to get a better number. And then with player props as well, if your book allows you to live bet them, you can get a better number as well. But we are going to go into the show best bet segment. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out after the show. 3 plays here that I gave out on today's show. And my favorite one is Josh Norris. Over half a point plus 100 here. I really like Norris and Doan together on the third line, also on that top power play unit. Don't be surprised to see Norris get a point on the power play. He's been very, very successful on the power play this season. I remember that from doing previous shows with on a power play point streak. That's where he does a lot of his damage. So look for Josh Norris to get a point, which is my favorite play here on today's show. Make sure to head over to picksandparlays.net. pmp.buzz/TE is the direct link. Also in the description below. Best deal on the site right now, the Hat Trick All Access Pass. Get all of my NHL plays for 3 days for $49. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck, and we'll see you guys on tomorrow's show. Thanks for watching, guys.